Welcome back to the SK Sportscast, where the S stands for sick and the K stands for can you believe the Rugby League season is in, fellas? Yes, it may not stand for that, but that's where we are. We are well into the Rugby League season because we had the Vegas launch, which we are going to talk about, and we preview or review some of the games. It was nice to see the boys over there in Sin City. Of course, we've got a week of games to preview as well, but this is a perfect hybrid crossover, whatever you want to call it, episode when it comes to both the National Rugby League and the National Football League, because it's going ham in America right now. I mean, we're talking about mega contracts. 2 record deals were set just in the last 24 hours. We're talking about trade news and rebuilds and teams being decimated and bandwagoners being de-bandwagoned. I don't know what else you want to say.
Yeah, getting off the wagon, perhaps.
Off the wagon.
Oh, but there's a lot that's been happening. But before we get into NFL, let's kick things off with the NRL because, boys, the season did launch over there in the US of A, in Sin City itself. Did we watch the games? What did we think? Are we excited for this upcoming NRL season? Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, Vegas is awesome, man. I mean, it felt better. Just I was like kind of particularly keen on like the crowd, the engagement. I don't know. Last year it felt, I don't know, didn't feel that great, but looked like the crowd was certainly involved. It was probably like the lion's share of them were probably Australians. I'm not sure how many Americans were actually in the stands. Really surprising thing for me, I did not, and look, take round 1 with a grain of salt. Always, probably up until round 9 to be fair. Raiders obviously a lot better than what I had thought. I kind of had them, I know I wasn't around to do our kind of like stack rank predictions for the year. I have the Raiders like pretty far down, if not like the Spooners for the year. So I was really surprised just to see them put the Warriors to the sword. I will take my moment here to talk about Panthers and Cronulla. Statistically, like it was like dead even, time of possession, completion rate, number of errors, and basically split down the middle. It kind of went the way I thought it would, just like kind of down to the wire. I did think the Sharks would win. Of course I would, being the bandwagoner that I am, John. Thank you. But objectively speaking, that was a bloody awesome game to watch. Really, really, good choice by the league to have those 2 teams in Vegas. But all round, yeah, super entertaining.
Yeah, I very quickly remembered why I stopped watching Rugby League, and that is because I put the Warriors game on. And the Warriors obviously got pumped. And by halftime, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to go build that baby gate and do the other things that are going to be more interesting than watching this fucking team play. But we're back. You know, that's it. This is my life. I cycle. It's the Jets, and now it's the Wars. And it looks like I get fun with both. Evan, how did you feel about Parramatta's debut?
Well, we can leave them to the last game. I was waiting to see what Mitch's reaction was to the first game in Sydney, which was
up the Chookies. Or Chookies look like they got roasted. Steagles on the fucking hot coals, eh?
No more Steggles. No more Steggles.
That's right, no more Steagles. Mitch,
No
what
more
did you
Steggles.
see in that game?
I thought a team that have had too much change year to year and even game to game, with a lot of players either probably in the very early stage of their career or at the very end of their career, playing a team that can score points at will when they get momentum, and it was uncompetitive outside of the first 15 minutes. Like, it wasn't unexpected though, I don't think. And I think that teams like the Roosters and the Eels, put it this way, there's no surprise that 4 or 5 teams that changed their halfback or had their halfback unavailable in the first week got absolutely flogged.
That's true.
And another one, St George were getting flogged until they closed the margin late. Parramatta,
Warriors
Warriors as well. Yeah, Sean Johnson retiring at the end of last year. Yeah.
Can I ask, just on the topic of the Dragons and the Bulldogs, so what's this news about the pie? Something involving a meat
That
pie?
is such bullshit. Of course, the Bulldogs have to act as the victim. Like, they're fucking, nothing's ever happened to them or they've done anything. Last year, they fucking embarrassed the Canberra Raider fan, pushing him around Belmore, breaking his fucking drum. Oh, nothing wrong with that. It's just fans being fans. The Dragon fan threw 3 meat pies at 2 different supporters, and all of a sudden we have to apologise because fuck the Bulldogs.
Were they hot? Yeah, I mean, can't really get a hot pie at footy normally.
And how much was a meat
man.
pie? $8.20, I hear. $8.20.
$8.20. Wow. So that's a really expensive sin.
Wait, I still don't understand. I missed this whole pie thing. Evan,
pie thing?
Say this on the
A Dragons fan threw a pie at a Bulldogs fan, I think, twice. And he got kicked out of the game.
Okay.
Do you think that he shouldn't have?
Do you know what? I just got to do a comparison really quickly because we hear about people getting shot at Raiders games, like we're talking Oakland Raiders back in the day. That's the American version of fan violence. Is we might shoot you or we might stab you, we might get into fisticuffs. In Australia, we just chuck fucking meat pies and sausage rolls at you and tell you to get this one up, you fucking.
That's so perfect.
We'll call it meat pie gate.
Meat pie gate.
Well, if Howard didn't
Could
take
be
our
worse. Could be
guns,
cream pie gate. Anyway, let's talk about Parramatta. You don't want to talk about Parramatta?
Like, we can, someone had to be fed to the Wolves. Melbourne, 21 out of 21 in round 1. They've just lost the grand final. They put up a stat, I'm pretty sure even Mitch said last year, every year after they lose a grand final, they make it a better less. They lose the prelim and they win the grand final the following year. But Melbourne, they didn't lose anyone off the off-season. Everyone's fit. They got Stefano, the new front row from the Tigers, just put Parra to the sword, no errors. The thing about Melbourne and Penrith, which they do so well, it's not going to complain about how they do it, how they play dirty. As soon as they tackle you, they hold you down for the extra second, don't give away the penalty. But as soon as they get tackled, they're up straight away. They play the ball. Harry Grant, Pappenhausen around the ball, Munster, Hughes, we talk about contracts. All 5 of them could easily be over $1 million a year, but who knows now with contracts? We talked about the NFL earlier, but big news out of Parra today is D-Bag, Zillan Brown off to Newcastle. And boy, I don't blame him taking the money. If you're going to pay $1.3 million to someone who doesn't kick, who can only run, who can't lead a team, take him. Fuck, we can't disagree.
Is this the second time we've seen a 10-year deal?
Yeah, Tino was in the other one. Tino was in the other one.
That's a big deal.
Polo was 8 years. Tino was... But still, I get his 24-25, but he hasn't done any credentials. Moses is the main guy there. For instance, now, is Cleary going to earn $2 million a year on his next contract? Because he deserves it. He deserves 2.5. There was a bidding war. But I don't blame him. He's still going to be with... And again, they sign a contract so early on, but they still play the remainder of the year with the same team. It's a bit of their motive. So I don't blame him, but again, it happens.
Is this now his last season there?
Because of all those contracts. So basically, John, Parra signed Dylan Brown 3 years ago to a 7-year deal.
Wow.
And every 2 years, they had a clause in his contract, a get-out clause, where if a team offered or he wanted to leave, he had to let them know by a certain round.
And now he's letting them know?
Yeah, because he's currently on $850 a year, but when you're getting offered $1.3 million a year, he's the joint highest paid player with Kalen Ponga. So Newcastle have 2 of the highest paid players at fullback and 5'8". Where are they going to find the money to find forwards, find a halfback, find a winger? That's the shit they went into. But again, they won't struggle with merchandise, but it's weird with the market nowadays with players because they're going to overpay for a lot.
There's a bigger issue here, but isn't there, Ev? This is now, at what point does Moses get off the train?
Well, no, he just signed a new deal 2 weeks ago, 1.4. 1.5 as of next year.
How many weeks, months?
True. I reckon Moses got another 2-3 years, then he'll probably have another clause in his contract.
I'd be astonished if he played at Parramatta next season.
Moses, you reckon?
Yeah, they're losing the majority of their leaders. Brown's Brown's their best young player. They've already moved on Gutson and Campbell Gillard. This is complete rebuild time. They're going to finish in the bottom 4 this season. I know that they, I know that they obviously were fed to the Wolves yesterday.
believe.
They've won 18 of their last 50 games. Went 12 2 years ago, 6 last year. At what point does he get off? And it coalesces with if Cronulla don't win the comp, that they have to agitate, do anything to get him.
Yeah, it's like when you look at deals, I'm sorry, Matt, but when you look at Nico Hines, since he's joined Cronulla, what's he done to earn $1.2 million a year? He has an easy schedule and he loses in the final.
Fuck off.
Prove me wrong. Even at Origin, he let us down. He couldn't even make a single tackle.
He's a fullback.
Doesn't matter.
He's a fullback.
He couldn't make a fucking tackle, Nico Hines. He let down the state.
You don't have to make 5 a game at fullback. You're just playing in the wrong position.
That's a bag on Nico Hines and Cronulla there.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have much to gloat about there because I was with my brothers yesterday watching UFC and I was looking at the teams list thinking, I was actually looking at the markets and I'm like, wow, of course, to your point, Melbourne first round, impeccable record, playing at Amy Park, I get all that. Moses out, I'm like, minus 19.5. Sorry, so plus 19.5. I was like, that's not too bad. Until I looked at the team list, I didn't realize how bad of a team you had. Like I literally just went like matchup by matchup. Like with the exception of Lomax and Meany, it's probably like the best matchup. Everything else, I'm like, wow, this is like completely thoroughly outmatched. And who is this Ronald Volkman guy? Who is he? I never even heard of him.
Just a guy from the New South Wales Cup.
Fucking hell, you got like 0.
What's his name?
Ronald Volkman.
Former Warrior.
Ronald Volkman.
You think like one game?
Yeah,
Going off Mitch's point for Para the last 2 years, we had Dylan Brown missing 9 weeks in 23. We had Moses missing 14 weeks last week. You can't win without your main half and 5/8. But that shows you last year, Dylan Brown had the team for 14 rounds, and I think we only won 4 games with him leading the team.
No, it was less than that. They won 2 games last. They won 2 games last season that Moses didn't play.
No, sorry, he won 2 games as the 7, yes, but I think he won another 2 as the 6, because then came in, Talangi came in as a makeshift 6 or 7. But still, how do you justify that? But again, I don't blame him for taking the money, but eventually, who knows? Like, you don't wish it, but a 10-year deal, something can happen. A knee injury, a head knock, and then your money goes down the drain.
The same could be said about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but he's won a Super Bowl. He's won 3.
Well, we're going to talk about big contracts in the NFL involving quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls.
Can we talk about the other side, like of the Brown deal? As an athlete in this sport, you just have to say yes. Like he has to take it.
No, 100%. I don't blame you for that.
Consider saying no.
No.
I just think there's implications. Like Newcastle are seemingly building to want to compete. They've got holes in different places, but. What do you do if you're Moses? Like, what point are you the last guy on the Titanic?
They make a movie about you. They build a statue.
And Lomax, like Parramatta bought the second best swinger in the NRL to play him out of position.
Yeah, that was crazy. I could not believe they named him the centre. Probably bounced the ring.
Yeah.
Who knows? But then again, this frees up a bit in the salary cap for Parra to go out and get a free agent soon. That's another thing. Like, Parramatta free up $900K next year. Probably even a bit more with Parla going, or even when we get more forwards off that are going to retire. I think it won't be as much as the Roosters with the 4-5 million, but I think Parra will still have 2.5-3 million to play with.
Compared to the Roosters, but I know they've been beaten by similar margins in the first game. Have a go at the squad of players the Roosters have in the forward pack.
Exactly.
The ages of the players compared to Parramatta. Like there's like Lainu, Collins, Radley, White, Watson.
And Radley got knocked out straight away by accident.
Like they just have Parramatta. I think they should go to where the Tigers went last year and properly rebuild. Whether they are brave enough to do it, because it'll be so painful. Will be interesting to see.
We'll see. It's another painful year being a Para fan. It's like being Dallas. You get let down in week 1.
I was going to say, this is very reminiscent of a Dallas rant. We're going to have to cope with this all fucking season, Ev. Like, you just...
Well, I was wondering when we just became the Eels podcast, you know? And I'm looking at
it just can't help but being this, catastrophist.
They're pretty newsworthy, but, one of their players just elected to leave to sign the biggest deal in the game's history this afternoon after they got beat by 50 yesterday.
And it was a guy, and he was the main guy and did fuck all.
Well, good time to jump ship. Hey,
Look.
any other awesome games that we watched this week?
I thought Manly were phenomenal, and I know
Yeah, that was so good.
I know Mitch. I know you said you mentioned that every team that have had some significant change in the halves got poleaxed, but yeah, I mean, Mitch, you and I had kind of a discussion that we've probably had like Cronulla Eagles being like some serious contenders. Yes, it's round one, but that first half was just near flawless. So good, just everyone.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're just amazing. Like just like the shifting speed, everything. It was just so crisp. Like there was just barely any chinks in the armor offensively. I thought Cowboys were disappointing, but yeah, I mean, super impressed.
When you're in Townsend, what can you do? Like,
I'm
that's-
beyond bullish on Manly.
Mm.
Like, I think if there's no injuries in the comp and no suspensions, everyone plays their best footy, all 17 teams, I think they win.
That's the weird winner you have this year, Mitch. With their
I just think that their best beats Penrith's best and Melbourne's best, but it's so much less reliably seen because they base their best off rapid ball movement in their own half, long distance tries, not
Isn't this
so
the
much
same
ruck dominance.
story for Manly every year, and then by round 3 or 4, Travojevic knee or hamstring, and then we're back at stage 1.
Yeah, I did think that too.
They got more points of attack this year, but they use their back rowers better than they used to because they got 2 genuine ball-playing halves. They're a bit stronger up front. Their backs are young and fast for the most part and getting better. But yeah, like they're not going to win the competition if he's unavailable, but they'll be better equipped if he is unavailable than what they have been.
Well, on that note, boys, up the wires, because I'm sure that's going to be fun this year. Hey,
they're playing Manly this week.
Oh, fuck. There you go. It's going to get even better. We'll find out. Hey, so why don't we talk about the NFL for a little bit? I want to bring this back down to where we all started. And that is because, first of all, we've got the legal tampering period coming up in 48 hours. And for the Aussies who don't know what that is, that's the period of time where you can talk to players who are still under contract with another team because the league officially opens free agency on, I think it's Friday our time, Thursday in America. So that's when free agency opens, but you've now got this, mostly because teams were doing the illegal thing anyway and just having like covert conversations. The league just said, well, we'll create this 48-hour window where you can talk to players in other teams, which is completely dissimilar to the NRL, where you will often sign a contract for next year, this year. So for our American listeners, this is actually a really good talking point. What Evan just described with Dylan Brown is that he is playing for Parramatta this year, and next year he's playing for, did you say Newcastle, right? So he knows where he's going to be playing next year for the next 10 years on a contract. You sign early. In the NFL, you've got free agency, and when free agency starts is at the end of your contract. So let's start with Myles Garrett really quickly, because he was someone who wanted to trade
to a
championship winning team, get off the Deshaun train, and I don't know, maybe he had a masseuse or two to convince him, plus $150 million paycheck. Was it something like that? What were the numbers?
Yeah, it's like 40. It's what was it? What did it work out to be like?
40 a year, I think.
It was like 40 years. Like it was 160 over 4. Really disappointing. I mean, like it wasn't just he wanted a trade to go to a contender. Like he was on the media train. Like he was at the combine. He was talking like in every conceivable media outlet. Like this is like categorically what I want. Point blank asked if they wave a check in front of you, and he just like shot it down. It's like, it's not about the money. So I was completely shocked to see that he signed with them. It's nuts. It's crazy, and like it's such a significant hit to the cap as well, coupled with the fact you have the effect of the Deshaun Watson contract. How the fuck are they going to sign him? Like Evan's just talking about how the Newcastle build a team. What the hell are the Browns going to do? Like,
I can tell you. So the Browns renegotiated with Deshaun Watson and freed up $36 million in cap by paying him the majority of his income next year as a bonus. right? So they freed up the cap. So basically, they're investing all this money in Deshaun Watson, who's probably not going to play. I don't think he's going to play. But that's how they got the cap room. But I think it's incredible that, look, it just goes to show you that poorly run franchises will always be poorly run no matter who's in front of office, because this is just like it's a phenomenally bad deal for Cleveland. It's fantastic for Myles Garrett. Maybe the market for him never really eventuated in the way that
must be it. That has to be it.
It has to be. I can't think of any other reason
would have
why.
maybe afforded him or wanted to give him what the Browns wanted, I guess.
Well, yeah, he was always wanting a new contract, even if he did get traded. But we're talking about just, I mean, a franchise that really can't afford much more, can they? What are they going to do? Get Myles Garrett to play fucking running back and quarterback as well? Because they haven't got much more going for them. Dorian Thompson,
Robinson,
Johnson, what's his name?
Yeah, the great man.
Yeah, what do they do? But alas, he got the bag. I haven't looked at. I don't think the full deal has been announced yet, so I don't know if there's like a big signing bonus or an exit period at some point. I do know there's a no trade clause though for the 4 years, so he's not going anywhere. That's it. He's staying for 4 years.
Actually, insane. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is insane. It is insane.
The whole idea, like, it must just be his legacy of going somewhere that meaningfully matters, and what was offered at franchise X that could have helped that, versus how much he ended up getting must be so far apart that he just, in the end, everyone's got their price logic just rang true, and what he was talking to people about at the combine, he just didn't go through with.
Yeah, true.
If I was going to interrupt here, I don't know if it's on the next agenda, but talking about defensive players getting paid, Max Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Max X
Brady's
Crosby.
$106 million extension.
Deserves it.
It was exactly what Matt said 10 minutes about how I'm going to go into my team. What the fuck is Dallas going to pay Micah Parsons?
They're not.
Him?
They're not going to pay Micah Parsons. We know
You're paying
this.
him $50 million. Like, what the, like, because again, this is why, again, Jerry Jones is a shit owner. You have to get in early. Pay him like the highest pay, because eventually it's going to get broken. Now you fucking have to pay another $10 million above, because he's looking at these deals. I deserve the same or more than Crosby. I deserve the same, if not more, than Garrett. And then you're fucked.
Yeah, look, this happens
But he doesn't.
almost every year. There's a position group that goes apeshit, and then everyone else ends up overpaying. Look at wide receivers for the last couple of years. There was that explosion where Debo wanted a contract, AJ Brown wanted a contract. Who else was it? It was all the same draft class. They were all going. It was crazy, right? All these players wanted early fucking contracts. They all got them. Everyone overpaid, and then that reset the market. This just happens in the NFL. And there's another a market resetter here. Let's talk about the missing trophy in the cabinet of Josh Allen, officially the highest paid NFL player ever. Because let me ask you guys this:
only per season. He's not the highest paid ever.
Yeah, he didn't get more.
It's per season. But per season,
Yeah.
the highest paid NFL player in NFL history, and the trophy cabinet is bare. He doesn't even have a Lamar Hunt, which is the AFC Championship trophy. He doesn't even have one of those.
He has an MVP. Good as MVP.
He has. He got MVP out of fucking pure pity this year. Don't even go there. Lamar Jackson statistically outperformed him in every category except for rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, well, guess what? Dak Prescott did it the previous year, and they still gave it to Lamar. So fuck you.
Lamar is the most valuable player, though. Let's face it. CeeDee Lamb is probably the most valuable player on Dallas, if you ask me. But yeah, I just think for a guy whose trophy cabinet is bare, I'm surprised that he was able to command such cash, because still one hump he hasn't been able to solve.
He's grown a beard at least in the last 8 years. So give him that.
Yeah, I think it's just because he signed the deal later, but isn't it? It's like what Ev was saying. Like, he's just got his contract extension after.
It resets the market again.
After Burrow and after Mahomes and after Jackson. Jackson took unders. The other two are probably fairly paid. Mahomes is the most valuable player in the NFL. His team makes the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely the most valuable player in the NFL.
He has the most guaranteed money, $250, then Watson at $230, Dak at $229, and Burrow at $220.
So
Let's be
Josh Allen
realistic.
is the
Like,
most
how many
guaranteed.
players in the NFL are worse than, like, how many players are better than Josh Allen? Like, you couldn't
Probably
get onto
two
a
max.
second hand. Like, so I don't know. Like, it's a little bit of an overpay, but it's where the market's at. Like, I'd think if Mahomes was coming off contract tomorrow, he'd go for 60 mil a year, not 55. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if Mahomes tested free agency, there'll be some fucked up offers.
You think? It'll be
It'll be like
weird.
70 million guaranteed or something.
Yeah,
Like,
teams would decimate themselves.
like future equity, like everything. There'd be crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Jets almost gave Aaron Rodgers future equity, but it got vetoed by the NFL. Thank fuck for that. Because that would have been just atrocious.
Where's he going to turn up next year?
Probably at the Giants.
Sure.
I reckon.
another New York team.
He just
Surely
bought
not.
a home in New Jersey. Apparently he went into the meeting with the Jets saying, "Please don't cut me."
Oh, he could go be back up at Philadelphia.
You think? What to Jalen Hurts? No worries. Yeah,
Who's the
he'll be
Jets
happy doing
quarterback
that.
now?
Well, you know what? There is another quarterback vacancy, and I want
Yeah,
to talk about
boy.
this team. I want to highlight this team
Highlight
because
the
this
hair.
team looks incredibly different. A week and a half ago,
Here it comes.
this team looked like the team he knows,
Here it comes.
and today, no, there's nothing to come. Well, I don't
Would you
know. It
like to
depends
see
on how
the
you're feeling.
head?
If it makes you come or not. But that is the Seattle Who's. I don't know. Can we still call them the Seahawks? They've completely changed. The Seattle Sea
The
Eagles.
Seattle Trade Hawks.
The Seattle Tradehawks. I like that. That's it.
Hang on, have I missed something? Is Seattle changing name, or is this just a parody?
No, this is just a complete
Okay, cool.
piss take.
I know they're
because
getting rid of everyone, but
there's no. Yeah, everyone is an understatement. So Geno Smith traded.
Yeah.
He's going back to hang out with Pete Carroll. Totally makes sense. Good move for the Raiders, by the way. Like great move compared to Gardner Minshew at quarterback or whoever else it's going to be, or Aiden O'Connell. DK Metcalf for a second to Pittsburgh. That was official today. Tyler Lockett got cut. Who else? Matt?
harsh. But
Yeah, Draymond Jones cut, Roy Robertson Harrison,
Yeah.
Rayshawn Jenkins, George Fant. A lot of cuts. Yeah.
I think it's the right move, Matt. What do you reckon?
Proper rebuild.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, well, those obviously
Drew Lock cut.
Drew Lock was 2 years ago, dickhead.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. You haven't even got a quarterback room at the moment.
I thought he got circumcised.
I mean, it just,
Well,
I mean, opens up the door probably for Sam Darnold now. He's probably the favourite in terms of a veteran. Can you call him a veteran? Veteran presence?
What about
He's
Daniel
a
Jones?
veteran.
We're probably not. Maybe. I don't think so.
I like that idea.
Kenny Pickett.
Trey Lance.
I hope it's Kenny Pickett. I hope it's Kenny Pickett.
That would make so much sense. Like,
Oh my
I have,
god, that would be amazing. Just to watch him
Boys.
sail by 4 yards again.
boys,
Hey, listen,
manifestation.
Super Bowl quarterback Kenny Pickett. Put some
Yeah.
respect on his name.
Yeah.
0 for 1.
Best incompletion I've ever seen in the Super Bowl.
Nelly went to Australia the past.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, look, I guess there was a lot of coaching carousel news, months ago. I guess one of the lesser known moves was us getting rid of Ryan Grubb. The offense for us completely went away from the...
Grubb.
We're a bit of a grub. We went away from the run game. We signed Clint Kubiak, and obviously he has a clean slate agenda, and I hope there's a plan. I don't know that for sure. Look, the wide receivers. I mean, think like there was rumblings even a year ago with DK. I think he was in talks with the Chargers. They were interested in him, so I was expecting that. Tyler Lockett quite clearly just he's old. So
He's getting on.
I'm not surprised with the wide receiver moves. I can't say I saw the Geno Smith trade coming. Weirdly, there's some reporting that we had a deal in front of him, and like from a monetary perspective, it was like at his expectation, and he just elected to be traded. Is at least what's been kind of reported at the moment. So yeah, that one's kind of shocking. I reckon we end up with Sam Darnold, and yeah, I mean there's plenty of wide receiver depth for the first time like ever. We have JSN. I love Jake Bobo. We'll probably draft a couple more just to pad out the room, but yeah, bit chaotic, boys. Rebuild.
We're talking about it last year with the NFC West with the rebuild. Like you have the Niners that have to rebuild soon with all their old pieces and whatnot. The Cardinals, you never know what's happening. Definitely the Rams. Even though they just went out in another big news, they got Devontae Adams. There's still a lot of old vets.
Yeah,
Cooper
but they've
Kupp,
done a bit of a rebuild, I think.
We still don't know where Cooper Kupp's heading. Stafford still re-signed. He wasn't going to. Now he is. So I think it's smart for Seattle to load up maybe some picks early on and just get the youth. Maybe not tank, but just sit as a young core and get through the division. You never know.
Like I said in the chat, guys, we've just been in this 9-win limbo for so long. So something.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do, man.
Yeah.
True.
I would love 9 wins any year.
I haven't had 9 wins for a very I haven't had
You had 9 wins,
season.
Evan, 4 years in a row, didn't you? You had
We had
12.
11 and 5.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else big that happened in terms of the player moves? Devontae was an interesting one, that's for sure. So he was obviously cut, and then he ended up in the Rams, which does make me wonder if they don't happen to stick to Stafford, because that re-signing hasn't happened yet, right? So if they,
Stafford.
it did happen. When did it happen? Today?
No, it was a week ago, less than a week ago.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. I missed it while I was crying about the Warriors. Okay. Well, I was going to say, otherwise I could see maybe Aaron Rodgers ends up in Southern
Oh,
California.
surely not, please.
Well, not now. No, it won't happen now. Now he'll end up in the Giants, and he'll take down another New York team. But was there anything else big in the NFL?
I got the Vikings re-signing Aaron Jones. Lions releasing Darius Smith.
Trey Hendrickson potentially up.
Oh, no, he's on the block. Yeah, Hendrickson, sack leader on the
big.
block. Well, they can't afford him. It's fair. It's the right thing to do.
Actually, there was one about a week ago. I thought for the first time in a very long time, the Chiefs made an awful move in trading Jacobuni to the Bears.
Yeah.
Massive pickup for the Bears. It's going to shore up their line. That is.
You're saying in all the Super Bowl, put him at guard. He's not a tackle. And
And we knew
Well,
that.
I
was saying
don't
that
know.
before.
Ben Johnson might send him out in a swing. That's a Ben Johnson move.
talking about the Chiefs, they re-signed Nick Bolton. The Bills are releasing Von Miller.
Oh, yeah. Big one.
Commanders re-signed
If it was 5 years ago.
For $6 million.
Debo Sanders.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown. Oh, talking about the Chiefs, re-signing Hollywood Brown. But what about the other wide receiver, Xavier Worthy?
Xavier Worthy's under contract.
You didn't hear the news? So you got.
No.
Oh yeah.
All of you look up the news. Please.
What happened?
Look up Xavier Worthy and tell me what you see, John.
All right.
I'm
not going to see a porno with
Is
Khloe
Xavier
Kardashian, am I?
is Xavier Xavier's brother?
Xavier. Mitch has already seen it.
NFL suspension. What did he do? Domestic. Don't these cunts ever learn? Seriously, don't hit a woman. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Don't fucking just don't smack anyone. How long's it? I don't know. Do you know what the funny thing is? You know what his attorney's name is? Sean Dick.
Sean Strickland.
No, Sean Dick. That would be a Sean Strickland kind of thing.
Yeah, you need it. You need it trimmed. So give it a shear.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't understand, man. I don't understand why these players feel the need to Ray Rice it. It makes no sense. But yeah, Chiefs. We'll see. Well, maybe that's why they re-signed Hollywood Brown, because now we're going to have Penitentiary Pete in Xavier Worthy.
The last two I got for you, Johnny. The Commanders re-signing Bobby Wagner, and finally releasing the man that wanted to be released.
I know. I'm fucking sick of this shit. Now he gets released. I bet you he's not fucking sick of this shit now.
Go and play your trade in the CFL.
He wouldn't be fucking sick of it now. He'd be happy.
I'll take it, Dallas, please, Jonathan.
You'll take him in Dallas? You can't afford him. You're going to have to get rid of
one
Michael
more.
Parsons.
One more. Not NFL related, but sports.
Trade Parsons to Washington. He loves Dan Quinn. Give us
the
a few
biggest
first.
contract of the week, $100 million over 5 years, to Stephen Anthony Smith.
Oh wow!
Stephen A. $20 million a year.
Stephen A.
Hot on the heels of
Wow.
being threatened by LeBron James.
Just keep Johnny's name at your mouth, boy.
I saw that.
Keep Johnny's name at your mouth.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Wow, Stephen A. got $20 million a year over 5 years. That is incredible.
ESPN or did he get signed over?
A CT ESPN, actually. He's been coached by the network.
He's at ESPN. And the craziest thing, I'm not enormously into the sport just by virtue of there's so many other ones to follow. Stephen A. Smith apparently has a higher annual salary than every player in the NHL.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right. Okay, there you go. I like Stephen A. Smith mostly because Evan doesn't like Stephen A. Smith. That's why I like Stephen A. Smith.
I don't like him. It's like he just knows how to press the right Dallas buttons. It's like Dallas will be so shit, but he'll still like laugh at us. Like, bro, we know we're shit. Why do you have to laugh at us every week?
Because you've got a big fan base and you react to him.
Yeah, but like I was reading about him. He goes for the Knicks, who have been shit for 60 years. He goes for who else does he go for?
Steelers, I think, is his NFL team.
Steelers, yeah.
Steelers, though. He's a fake Pittsburgh fan.
Who else is he?
How do you go for the Knicks in Pittsburgh? How does that work out?
Oh, it depends where you're from.
So he goes for the Jets, probably. He doesn't want to admit it.
No, I don't know if he's from New York.
I think he's from New York.
He's from Philly, I think.
That's even worse.
Yeah, there you go, from Pennsylvania. All right,
Yeah.
I think
We could have picked the Eagles.
Yeah.
But Dallas won the division a couple of years ago. Philadelphia made the Super Bowl the year either side of it.
He's from the Bronx. Is that the Jersey? Is that fucking the Jets side or the I don't know?
Giants usually. That's Giants. Yeah. The Jets are typically Queens.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn, and then you'll find that Manhattan and the Bronx is typically the Giants. Staten Island's typically
Rangers
the
and
New York.
Yankees, yeah.
Yeah, the Jets are typically Staten Island, and then depends on where you are in Jersey. But usually, the Jersey people are fans of the Jets, not so much the Giants. But let's move on from.
That's a good way to go back into the NRL and talk about the Broncos.
Well, let's move into the NRL. And before we get too serious, guys, a couple of weeks ago, we announced a new award. We announced a new award that we were launching specifically for the NRL season, and this award will be continued to be given out week after week, depending on what sport we're focusing on. And today, and as always, sponsored by Ford. Get your Ford at your local Ford dealership. The O.J. Simpson Ford Bronco runaway try or play of the week. Fellas, have you got some nominees?
Oh, there's plenty. There was a lot of tries. When the Roosters and Parramatta's defenders were impersonating witches' hats, they conceded a few. But I've got one.
Yeah?
Dragons, Bulldogs, midway through the comeback, Dragons hooker, Jacob Little, sprinting away. It clocked on the Telstra tracker at 36 k's an hour, which is very, very similar speed to what our Cowlings was going when he was driving the Bronco on the Pacific Coast Highway on that famous day in 1994. And then at the end, Jacob Little, the little dummy to the left-hand side of the Bulldogs fullback, sold him straight away, little sleight of hand, a la Johnny Cochran v. the jury, and he got the prize away, score, innocent, stay out of jail, and get 4 points.
Oh, how can you top that? How can you top that?
Well, and just so all of our
OJ top no one
can actually see what we're talking about, guys. Let me introduce you to open system settings. Hang on.
Close it.
Oh no, hang on. I'm trying to allow it to share my screen. Come on. Please work. Quit. No, later. Okay, never mind. We'll edit this in post. Anyway, it was an amazing try. So everybody, congratulations
it was a great try.
to Jacob Little. Congratulations to Jacob Little on
not as good as the try.
90-meter try. I would have played it, but I had to reset the whole thing if I did. So there you go. Yeah, next week we'll play the try.
More effective try than the plaintiffs in 1995 v Simpson.
All right, let's move into our NRL previews. NRL previews. That's right. We've got 4 games we're going to talk about this week. And let's start with the Thursday night game. Is it a night game? It's a Thursday night game.
Yes, sir.
It is a night game.
The Knights, that's confusing, And the Dolphins, not the Miami ones, although there is a Miami in Queensland. The Knights and the Dolphins.
What kind of weather? What kind of Miami weather's in Queensland now? Well, actually, no, you are right because tornadoes do happen in Miami a lot.
Well, it just looks like a Florida Keys
hurricanes.
now.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it does. It looks like the swamp. Drain the swamp, guys. Drain the swamp. Hey, Knights versus Dolphins. So, has anyone got a prediction to kick us off? What do you think is going to happen in that game?
Fucking the Knights were very boring against the Tigers. They just fucking eased one out against them.
That's a fairly aggressive start to the
Thursday
preview.
night, Newcastle. I don't know if they're going to wear the orange jersey, but
I guarantee you they aren't. They normally wear that on the last day of the season.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Or the last home game.
McDonald Jones, yeah, it's hard to tip against them. Dolphins, had a lot of players out last week, but Newcastle at home Thursday night under lights. Probably get it done by a 13-plus margin, I reckon.
Ooh.
Big shout out to both McDonald and Jones.
Yep.
I think Newcastle win as well. Tough, both obviously played tight games, similar turnaround. Neither team were outstanding on the weekend, but both were okay. Newcastle's completions weren't great. The Dolphins' fundamentals are pretty good. I think Newcastle just get home, but I don't think it'd be 13-plus.
Yeah, not a lot of points from either of them. They scored, 10 points and 14 points, low-scoring matches respectively. I think the Dolphins win, to Mitch's point. Fundamentals are better. And I don't know, it's just one of those matches against the Rabbitohs. I was kind of surprised how they lose that.
Yeah, I had the same feeling.
It's a bit weird, and remarkably well just being displaced just by virtue of the of Alfred. I think Dolphins, and they do it handily I got a 13-plus.
Wow.
Yeah, cool. I think I predicted the Dolphins to wooden spoon it this year, didn't I?
You did.
So I'm going to pick the Dolphins to lose.
Okay.
I think that's a fair bet. I'm going to pick them to lose 30-2.
Two.
Yeah, at penalty. It'll be penalty kick. It'll be the first 2 points of the game. The only 2 points for the Dolphins.
Not a 2-point field goal?
Not a 2-point field goal. No. It'll be a high tackle. I don't know if it'll be sin bin worthy, but it might be on report. And there'll be an easy 2 points. Dolphins fans will rejoice. They will believe the team can win, only to watch them concede 30 unanswered.
Fuck me. Hey Matt, did you hear on last time's episode that John's prediction for the season?
I did.
Right on. So just a recap, I'm not going to go all of it. Just the last four are pretty fun. You have the Dolphins last, the Titans second last, Manly in third last, and the Raiders in fourth.
I like it except for Manly. That
Really?
I can see it happening. I love, yeah. I mean,
Manly in third last.
No, I like it except for Manly.
Oh.
Well, look,
Yeah.
we'll see. Is that really what I said? Did I say Manly be that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I must be betting
Well,
on some
worried
Trebojevic ACLs there. Maybe.
Hey, come on.
I didn't say I want it to happen. I just said I must be factoring the injury history in, and
That's
the
fair.
fact that their halfback's name is Daly. Daly Cherry
Anyway,
Evans.
John's got the first two right anyway.
That
Yeah,
should be his
Storm-
podcast, The Daily Cherry Evans. It'd be a fantastic newspaper in 1886. Let's move into the next game. We've got the Dragons and Souths, a team I don't like. Actually, I don't like either of these teams. Who wants to go first and have a crack at this one?
Oh, I liked
I'll
Evans'
go.
start last
The
time.
rematch of the Charity Shield 2 weeks ago where the Rabbits absolutely got smacked. Win Stadium, Wollongong, cold. Rabbits, I guess with Wayne Bennett could have a close game. Dragons with the fucking 35-year-olds in Gufferson, Holmes, and Cook. Oh, I'm going to go Golden Point here, guys. Golden Point. Dragons get it done.
Golden Point, wow. I'm going to go Golden Shower in the locker room. I'm going to say, I think I don't know. I don't like either of these teams very much, and because I'm not in the loop as often anymore, it's very hard not to get just specifically emotional. But I think I'm going to say that the Rabbitohs, just because I now live in the precinct. There are lots of Rabbitohs fans around me. I think I'm going to go Souths to win just 12-10.
12-10.
Yeah.
Far out. No scorers.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be cold in Wollongong.
That's
according
right.
to you, so
It's
maybe
cold in the
attacks
gong.
will be as cold as ice, willing to sacrifice.
Cold in the gong, shrivel dongs.
I find this hard to predict. The Dragons weren't too competitive on leaving themselves much chance to win in the first half the other day, but the Bulldogs were quite good. South Dolphins game, South just got bashed. As Matt was saying, I couldn't believe that when the game finished, they'd won.
Yeah, agreed. It's weird.
Both teams out physicaled on the weekend. I'll go the Dragons just because they beat South 2 weeks ago, albeit in the Charity Shield. A big rematch of the preseason Charity Shield, as Ev rightly points out. Dragons 22, South 14.
Oh, fuck. Really similar. For much the same reasons and very similar score, but I'll change the score line. I had, Dragons
Let's go 14 as well, Matt.
24-16. I'll just gross it up by 2 points.
Oh, yeah. Gross that shit up.
Yeah. Cool. Moving on, we've got another Saturday night game.
Another cold game. Another cold game.
Another cold game. We've got the
Is
Raiders.
it supposed to be cold on Saturday night, or am I missing something?
I don't know.
Oh, it probably will be colder in Canberra than it is here.
Perhaps.
Well, it's Camp in Wollongong. It'll be pretty hot, no?
What?
I don't know. I was there last Saturday and it was fine. But yeah.
Anyway, Raiders Broncos. I'm going to lead.
Saturday is predicted to be 33 degrees.
Yeah, it's cold.
Fahrenheit.
That's,
Do you mean
that's
Do you mean
like
Fahrenheit?
90 Fahrenheit, maybe like close to 100 Fahrenheit, something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
Let's get into Raiders Broncos. I'm going to go first on this one this time, and that is because I have predicted the Broncos to win the whole thing. Therefore, it's very easy for me to say Broncos 36 and Raiders 22.
Ooh.
Yeah. Is that scoregami? Probably not.
No.
The good thing about NRL is you can just pick even numbers, and usually it tallies, whereas the NFL sometimes you've got to think in sevens, and it gets very confusing. No, yeah, 36-22. Yeah, fuck, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Broncos were so impressive on Thursday. They
Must be hard to say.
Should win comfortably. I'll go Broncos. I think they'll score 30 plus again. I'll go 32-12.
I'll go. Like I said, I was really impressed with the Raiders, albeit against a pretty shocking Waz. John, just their backs, the fluidity. Xavier Savage had a blinder, and I do think the Broncos will win, though I think it'll be a lot closer than what people think, and I'm going to go 26-24 Broncos.
Wow, 26-24 Broncos.
Yeah.
Evan, bring us home, buddy.
Bring it home. I reckon I think it's a very tight game. I see Raiders not dominate, but I see the Raiders just taking the lead. I don't know, just Ricky Stewart versus Match. It's a great coaching matchup in Canberra. I just feel like I still think the Broncos win, but I just feel like Raiders can still be on top for bits of the game, and I'm going to go with a 28-20.
Oh, okay. There you go. Bringing it home. Evan, you're going to be happy to talk about this one, mate, because on Sunday we've got the What's the Matter Parramatta Eels and the very, very rubbish Wests, previously Balmain Tigers, nowadays Wests Magpies Tigers. Is that right?
That's right.
Is it like one of those hyphenated white people's last names? Magpies Titans?
Yeah, they should be playing rugby union, basically.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hey, Para and the Tigers. Evan, why don't you start for us? What do you think's going to happen in this one with your team?
Because as much as I want to say, first game for Para at home, we're going to bounce back and win. Listen, I'm looking at history here. The last 5 years Para and the Tigers have played, we've split the series 1-1. Moses comes back round 7 against the Tigers, which means he's going to come back and win. Therefore, unfortunately, Para will start 0-2. We're going to lose this week, as much as it pains me to say it. It's going to be like a 26-16 Wests, with Luai scoring a double.
Wow. Go Luai. It sounds like a party.
Yeah, I guess Para just could not show us much against Melbourne. I thought the Tigers, the defensive resolve was actually quite impressive for much of the match. By the last 20, it sort of started to fall apart. They just looked like they were really in control against the Knights. Assuming they can kind of keep up that defensive resolve. I'm not a big fan of the attack, obviously. There just does not look like there's that fluidity at this stage, but obviously showed us more. So just for that reason alone, I'll go to Tigers. Probably a low scorer again in the Spoon Bowl repeat. We'll go 14-8 Tigers.
Mitcho?
Yeah, high scoring game on both sides for me. I think that the Tigers' low point concession was affected by how bad Newcastle handled the ball in the first half, unforced a lot of it as well. These teams obviously played a super high scoring game at the end of last season. I think the Tigers have more attack than Parramatta at the moment, based off the fact that Dream Bull is going to come back in. Stafford Toa, the Parramatta just got no Moses, not enough shape, change at fullback. Like they're in tatters to start the season, and that's tough, and they'll get better as it goes on. But the Tigers looked okay in patches. I think they'll win easily. I'll go Tigers 34, Parramatta 20.
Wow.
And well done to the Tigers, who'll get the John Wilson Cup to start the season. Former Parramatta and Tigers great of the early 2000s.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go with extra time on this one. That's right. This is going to go to Golden Point. Huh?
That's even worse. I don't want that.
Why?
Because then fucking regardless, we'll fucking play longer than Copper by Canterbury the following week.
Good. That's okay. Because that stadium's around the corner from you, son. You should be a Canterbury Bulldogs fan.
That's at Parramatta the game.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. Anyway, he should be a Bulldogs fan. He can literally smell the fucking flares when they go off a Belmore Oval from his house. All right? So he should be a Bulldogs fan.
Give us your prediction so I can go into the point quickly.
My prediction is goes to Golden Point. Is that still a thing, fellas? Golden Point is still a thing. And I'm going to say Para is going to edge it 21-20.
Fucking Lomax field goal. Love that.
Yeah.
So, John, before the podcast started, I asked you a question. How much you reckon NRL tickets are? Now, you haven't looked at the schedule. After the Para game, Bulldogs do play at Belmore. I will be smelling the flares and probably another assault charge because another Bulldogs fan got a Sai thrown at him. So they're playing the Tigers.
What the fuck? A Sai? Why a Sai?
Because the Sai is the big Southwest thing now. Didn't you notice? Everyone in the Southwest eats a Sai.
Underworld. Fucking
Sai Underworld. Hang on.
Sacrilege, man. Should be a meat pie.
Anyway, if you want to go to a game to Belmore with your family, let's say you want to take your 2 girls and your missus.
Oh, I couldn't think of a worse place.
With general admission.
General admission?
At Belmore, mind you.
I'm not going to be a dickhead and say $9 a ticket like the Panthers once accommodated for their fans. But we're talking not the Penrith Panthers, of course. We're talking the Carolina Panthers. But I don't know, maybe Florida. like $60 a ticket for general admission, sit anywhere.
Matt, Mitch, can I have a quick prediction?
Who's it for?
General admission at Belmore Sports Ground just to sit on the hill, Dogs versus Titans.
$34.
$5.
$55 to sit on the hill.
So I said $60, didn't I? Yeah. So I was almost right.
Yeah, $130 to go to the 5,000 seats on the grandstand. That is an absolute disgrace. I know it's not a big capacity, but that's a disgrace.
That's very expensive. That's very so. So that means we're going to get less flares, unfortunately,
Yeah, no, I agree.
because it's those of the low socioeconomic situations that tend to bring on the fucking.
I'll tell you actually. So who's the opponent? Gold Coast, is
Gold
it?
Coast. First game of the year,
Oh,
Gold Coast.
Yeah, right. There you go.
I
There you
couldn't
go.
believe it. I thought maybe $20-$30. Yeah, I'll buy a ticket, whatever. 55 to sit on a hill. Fucking Olympic can't even buy $55 worth of tickets for a year, let alone for one game.
So the Roosters play Gold Coast in their next home game.
How much are tickets there?
I'm about to find out. At the SFS or Alliance
Which is
Stadium.
one of the greatest grounds built in the last 10 years in Australia.
I used to go to the gym there, believe it or not.
There's a
Allianz.
high roller. Oh,
Matt, you used to
Andra.
come to the gym there too, remember?
You've been to a gym? Wow.
Can you go and fuck yourself before I do it for you? Remember you used to come to the
it's
City
mad.
Football City? Yeah, it was a sick gym.
Imagine.
Shout out to my father-in-law.
They've,
I can't
They've
afford those.
they've done it up recently, actually.
They have. Very
You're
nice.
just talking general admission, Ev?
Yeah, general admission. General admission. Okay, so I'm here as well. Best seat available. Here we goes.
No,
The
general
cheap-
admission at the end.
Yeah, here. $25 at Allianz.
That's for child. I think it's 40.
It says 25 in
Oh,
category.
guys, this
Can I
is
ask,
riveting conversation.
Where are we going with this, eh?
It's bullshit that you have to pay $55 to sit on a hill, but you can pay $25 to sit in one of the best seats of the ground.
Okay, Buzzwell Field, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah, this was absolutely just captured all of our listeners, and the stick rate now is enormous. Let's move into my forever favorite segment, especially because this year I'm going to put some money on it because I got no clue about the rugby league, and that is Mitch's multi. Now, I want to know because this is the first week we're doing Mitch's multi. Are we rolling in winnings from last year? Did we have any winnings left over? Has someone kept a ledger?
Yes, I have because I've been putting the $50 on every time.
Thank
Excellent.
you,
Did I not win the Super Bowl one, or did I lose?
No, we lost the Super Bowl one. We needed DeAndre Hopkins to get over yards, not a touchdown. We just needed
although I did tell you to put the touchdown initially, and then you
but that was after. Like we couldn't really do much there. But
So
was only
you're playing with winnings?
touchdown.
250. Let's say 250. We're up.
I tell you,
we're up to
we definitely won the overs on burger preparation time, though, didn't we?
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
Unfortunately, we all bet
astounding.
on the unders with hope to be fed.
Yeah, shout out to Vic on the
Where's my
park.
burrito?
All right, so hey, Mitch, do you want to give us a multi for the week, my friend? What are we going to spend our hard-earned cash on? As always, gamble responsibly.
No, don't. We are going to go the famous 3-leg head-to-head or money line
Oh, yeah.
multi.
Who's that? Ron Jeremy? No?
Straight in there. Don't pull out at any stage. We're going for the Tigers, $1.68. Love the Tigers. Great
Wow.
side. I'm not as good as Tiger King, one of the great TV shows of all time. And then in the other games, we are going to go on some overs points.
Ooh.
Yeah, so get a load of that. When the Bulldogs play the Gold Coast, we're going to go for over 45 points.
What?
Over 45 points. Wow. Wow. And you know what I would love to know is should we also add in mandatory, I'm going to make a call here. I haven't discussed this with anyone. Mandatory bet on a try scorer to lead us into what we hope to be part of the OJ Runaway Try of the Week nominations.
Yep, righto. And we'll add that in. So
Yeah.
in the Roosters versus Panthers game,
Brian.
we're going to go for one of the try scorers to be Nathan Cleary.
Well, I can't put it on now because they haven't named the squad.
Yeah, but he'll score. Probably multiple
I
times.
will put it on when I find out.
Yep. Nathan Cleary to score, all up the Tigers, all up the overs in the Bulldogs Gold Coast game. Note that down. Probably get around $8 for that multi. maybe 10.
Maybe more. We're right now at $4.
Put 500 on it.
What the fuck?
Put 1,000 on it, actually. If you had $1 million, put that on. No chance it gets rolled.
So what was it actually paying?
We can't do it until Nathan Cleary's named in the side tomorrow.
Right. Okay. So once he's named in the side,
surely you rest him if you're Ivan.
It's round 2.
Yeah, they only need. What do they need to beat the Roosters? Honestly, 7.
26 points.
I'd say 7 wins.
Well, do you know what? If they trotted out that team they played in the trials against Manly, they'll probably win.
Yeah, I'd say 7 wins. Like 7 points will be enough to win.
Hey, do we want to put an early Dally M prediction in?
Yes, you can't bet on the Dally M anymore.
Why not?
Some kind of like the voting integrity's fucked or something.
Yeah, because I told you the story with the Storm and Bellamy.
Yeah.
I knew Bellamy was going to win Coach of the Year like 6 hours previous, and they all backloaded her.
Yeah, but why can't you bet it from now? Like, it would make sense.
Banned.
Because it's been banned.
Oh, I reckon it's Cam Munster.
What about State of Origin?
Oh, easy. Fucking Melbourne, and then Adelaide, and then Queensland. No?
Great. How is Para the fucking favourites for the spoon now? Get fucked.
That's money I'm going to put on. Even worse than the Dolphins. All right, fuck it. Let's move on. Because
I'm going to go man of the match.
Oh, yeah?
So, Dally M prediction. I will go... I find it uncomfortable doing this with his injury history, but Tom Trbojevic.
Tom Trbojevic, yeah.
Although I will say that the way that the voting's worked out with the Sixers basically going to the best player on the winning team, if the Roosters can win 10 games, Tedesco will probably win. Because he'll get man of the match every game. Every game they win, he'll get man of the match in.
Are there too many good players in Melbourne to have Cam Munster as a potential contender?
I think so.
Yeah.
I like Anthony Minicello for fullback of the year. Anthony Mini.
I was going to say I wish he was still playing, but it is one of the positions that we still have a good player in.
You do. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we're at the pointy end of today's conversation, and usually this would be garbage time. But instead, we've decided while we're talking about rugby league, so when we're talking about the NFL, it is, of course, garbage time. And by the way, there is more NFL programming coming up. Why? We've got the draft coming up. We've got free agency happening in 48 hours. So there will be more on that front. But for now, I think we're going to call it the send-off because this is how we're going to just fucking send you off, right? Is that right?
That's
is that
it.
why we're calling it the send-off?
Bill Harrigan style.
Bill Harrigan style. Don't talk, just go. Except for the purpose of this segment, please talk before we go.
Please talk. I should have really been prepared. Was anyone? Yeah, there was a sin bin actually. It's sponsored by Joseph Tarpany being the first player sin bin this year, the first one in Vegas.
What do you do?
I don't know. A high tackle, I think, shoulder to the head.
Nice. Excellent.
Talking about change, let's talk about things that haven't changed. Trivia time, boys. What the fuck was that?
It's my cat.
Matt's pussy is squeaking.
First time we got pussy on the podcast.
Yeah, fuck
I
yeah.
know. But it needs a bit of an oil change, mate.
The question is, guys, what NRL team hasn't changed their logo in the longest?
Wow, that's a great question.
Oh, okay. The longest.
So, okay, how about this? I reckon all of you can have a name, and I'll tell you if they're on the list and where they rank.
Man, how did you even find this out?
Because I'm Evan. I have some stats, and I know who's changed who.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't doubt him because I once watched him name every single flag on Earth by country.
Country
right?
flag.
Yeah, country flag. Almost every single one.
Really?
This motherfucker comes up with Uganda and everything. Yeah, he knows everything, mate. Azerbaijan. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He gets it. So anyway, I don't doubt for a second that he has it etched in his brain when a logo changes. I am going to say, my brain is telling me that Para hasn't changed for a while.
Para is the 7th on the list in 2011. There are 16.
Fuck, really?
Yeah.
Matt, you want to go?
God. My mind went to North Queensland.
The Cowboys changed in 2019. They went from the
What?
Cowboy thing to the Horns. They changed their official
Yeah, they
logo.
thinned out the bottom of it, didn't they, or something?
Christ. Okay.
So you're out, Mitch. Can you save it? Can you beat more than 2011? It's like Price is right. It's like Family Feud.
Yeah. So
Price is right.
I'm thinking of two. And I don't know which one to pick. I don't know when Souths haven't done it for a while, but they got rid of the writing and they did change it. I don't think that's the answer. So I'm going to go. It's either Newcastle. They haven't changed for a while, I don't think.
They've changed in
Or
2017. They had the sword. They had the guy facing left, and they swapped it to the right.
oh
Really?
wow,
Yeah.
How the
Wow.
fuck did you pick this, Evan?
Mind you, there are two teams that
Just-
you can't support. That's
Oh,
on the
Warriors.
No.
Roosters haven't changed for a while, but
field. Roosters haven't changed since 2000.
Oh, wow.
What, the Sharks?
wow.
Wait, Sharks.
Yeah.
When did we change ours? Was that like...
The Sharks 2004, from the little small shark to the
No, we had 2004.
2004.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like that was within the last...
Is the Roosters the answer?
No, Dogs 2010,
Yeah.
Broncos 2007, and then you have the St. George Illawarra Dragons in 1999 when
Yeah.
they merged with the Steelers.
Wow. So when they merged to become the St. George Illawarra.
Yeah, they haven't
Yeah.
changed.
The NFL.
They were the other team I was going to guess, but
Yeah.
I didn't get to my second guess.
The NRL really needs to expand again. Like, I know they've just expanded recently, but just bring back some of these teams. Like, whatever happened to, the North Sydney
Newtown
Bears,
Jets.
the Newtown Jets, the fucking
That's not
Illawarra
expanding.
Steelers?
Expanding is going into new places.
Well,
I
just
think.
bring back the teams that were so exciting to watch back. Western Sydney Magpies. Come on.
Ooh.
We're going back now, right? We're going back now.
Perth Bears are in the works.
Ooh,
I
fuck
know the Perth Bears are in the works, but no one in fucking WA watches the
Great
NRL.
trivia, that. That's good. That was a good question. I like that.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question then. If there was one team you could bring back that was previously here, it could be Super League or National Rugby League, who's the team that you'd like to bring back?
The Chargers and Brandon Staley could coach them.
Fuck you.
Hang on, who's the Chargers?
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast Chargers.
Another
Wow.
team, or 5 Queensland teams.
That's going way back. Who else? Come on, give me someone else.
He'd
He'd go with the Chargers.
I'll go with a team that's exactly like John's team, and the logo's similar. It's just blue.
They ripped
The
it off.
Newtown Jets.
The Newtown Jets. Yeah. What about you?
We need a
Okay.
team for the working man.
I have two
It's the team
answers
now.
and one comment to make. If anyone would like to turn on Channel 9, no shit, our Cowlings is police tape is currently on right now. No joke.
You're kidding me. You are joking. I don't have a TV.
Our
I do.
Cowlings is on.
He was on. There he is.
Oh my god, he is.
Oh, Evan's got it on. Evan, play us our Cowlings, mate.
I'm watching it. Don't give me an echo.
Let's see. Channel 9.
Landon murder of Nicole.
So who was our runaway try of the week?
Jacob
Jacob Little. He's actually he was 100% footy was just on. Jacob Little sadly
exactly.
wasn't on. But
The life and murder of Nicole Brown Simpson.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh yes.
and don't forget Ronald Goldman, Ed. But
That's what it's called.
yeah. So anyway, big shout out to Al. He's still with us, Al. Not incarcerated.
He's not.
No, he's not.
So he's
I just
all
want
right.
Bronco.
Well, he couldn't get done with anything. He was like not really harboring a fugitive. The guy got found innocent.
Oh, here we go. Here, I'll help you guys out, fellas. You ready? Hang on a second.
It was 30 years ago. Get over it, love.
There he is. There he is in the flesh. Look at
I
that.
don't
Who
think
the fuck's that old codger? Hang on. There we go.
that Peter Sterling?
That there. Who's
What
that?
about the
No, the other guy.
Is that Oj?
what
No.
about
That's
what
Al.
about the what about we're just talking footy and the coroner jacket came on? I thought Boyd Cordner was making a comeback. I'm like, yeah, good. We'll win games. Cordner. I was coroner.
Okay, boys.
Amazing. Well, look,
What was the question? What team would you bring back?
what team would you bring back?
I think that Illawarra should have a standalone team.
That's what I reckon too.
But I'd love to see Perth in just to have a national footprint.
Didn't they have a
For
Super League
greater
team?
Yeah, but then they
No
cut
shit.
them, and basically that team and Hunter Mariners became Melbourne's first team. On paper.
There you
April
go.
17th, 1996.
Yeah,
Coincidentally, Dallas won the Super Bowl 2 months earlier.
they did. And our Cowlings and Dapto have both won the same amount of Super Bowls. Dallas have won the same amount of Super Bowls since.
Dominique Brown, Nicole's sister, is still crying 30 years later.
I saw
wonder
something.
why.
I saw something on social media this week that said, "Ring since 1995, Dallas 0, J-Lo 6."
That could be the same with like Buffalo. That could be the same with Parramatta. There's a
No,
lot
not
of fucking...
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be, but it's better when it's Dallas.
Yeah, because they've got some before, whereas Buffalo haven't.
Yeah, and look, I don't think Buffalo will. Well, Josh Allen is at quarterback. That's my prediction for the century.
It's not going to be his fault if they don't win them.
No, of course not. You know whose fault it is. You know whose fault it is. Don't make me fucking say it.
Mahomes getting traded.
Don't make me say it. Fire Sean McDermott.
But again, it's not his fault they traded the pick for Mahomes to get picked for the
Yeah, but they're not going
Chiefs.
to re-sign DeMar Hamlin this year, guys. He's hitting free agency.
We're going to go to Philadelphia and they're still going to boo him.
Who, DeMar?
Yeah.
You imagine if he goes to Cincinnati instead. Full circle, I guess.
Circle of life.
Well, it's where he started his second life.
That is very, very true. It's where he, Amazing. Okay, well, on that note, I think we're done for today. I think we're done.
Yeah.
So, as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, do not forget to hit subscribe. If you're seeing clips on the Tickety Talk, we are told that we are getting more in your face. Therefore, we'd like you to hit subscribe. It's saved all the groovy stuff that helps us continue to do what we want to do. We will be here every week, as always, talking about the NRL and NFL. Next week should be interesting because we will have week 2 of the NRL, but also the free agency will be shaping up by that point. So by this time next week, fellas, it's going to be pretty clear who's jumping ship, who's moving teams. The tampering period will be over. Contracts will be in place. Sam Darnold will be a Cowboy. And on that note, no?
Don't talk.
Just go.
Oh.